Hi guys, it's Rohit from Practice by Numbers again. Today I want to talk to you guys about reconciliation of what you have collected in your practice management system and what's been deposited in the bank. Um, every practice should be doing it on a monthly basis to have the right systems in place. It's also a deterrent for embezzlement because if your office and everybody knows that this gets done every day or at the end of each month, it doesn't prevent it. I would recommend every practice takes uh, account of everything that's deposited that shows, let's say, your EagleSoft or your open note shows $100,000 that you collected. You got to make sure every one of that $100,000, $1,000 shows up in the bank, and you're able to reconcile it, and you're able to figure out, is that money actually reaching the bank? Now, again, it's not going to prevent embezzlement for sure, but it's a good deterrent. So people, I we used to, meaning in my wife's practices, we used to reconcile at the end of each month before practice by numbers existed, and we have used practice by numbers for reconciliation for a long time. Meaning, you can use Excel, you can print out a statement and put check boxes, make sure little check marks, make sure every day's end of day is actually in the bank account. It takes time, takes effort. It's prone to mistakes. And one thing that a lot of our customers have asked us is how could we make that process a little bit simpler? Because in practice by numbers, we have all your collections report from your practice management system. And if you connect your QuickBooks, we have all your income from the QuickBooks side. And all we have to do is now put two and two together. So this dashboard is available today for everybody. What we have done is we have made this dashboard a little bit more interactive so you can mark the transactions that have been reconciled. This feature is under development, so I'm showing this to you as a works in progress. It's going to be complete and released at the end of next week. So anybody in the bundle package will be able to access this feature, and I highly recommend using it if you don't have a good, easy way of reconciling your each month. Okay, so here's how it goes. Okay, so let's put me to the side over here, and here's a practice. We're looking at the month of March. Okay, and this is a dashboard that already exists in all of your accounts, and it's the bank practice management reconciliation dashboard, and it's under the advanced dashboards. Okay, so you can just go there directly, and you can scroll to any month that you want. Now, what it's going to show you is how much was collected in the practice management, how much is in the bank, and what's the difference. It's going to give you by the day on what money came in by each source, right? Your insurance checks, your Visa, if you have care credit, and other types of sources, going to all show up here. This is directly from your practice management. And on the right side, we're going to show you the QuickBooks income. Obviously, there's a big, huge difference here. And in most cases, the differences are there because of a timing issue. For example, you got received checks towards the end of the month, and they didn't get taken to the bank till maybe a day or two after the end of the month. Or you had merchant deposits coming in, let's say on March 31st, and they didn't hit the bank till like April 2nd. You got to reconcile all of that. Make sure that if your practice management shows 120,000, you have 120,000 every single dollar. There we go. And let's look at these two graphs. What I'm going to try to do is try to see what part of my income is missing. So let's first quickly, let's look at insurance checks. Checks, and if there was any cash, because I know this money gets taken to the bank. And on this right side, I will do the same thing, and I will go pick up just a pre-encoded. So there's a difference of about $20,000, $22,000 right there. Okay. And what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to reconcile each month. So actually, let's go back to last month and see if last month was reconciled. And here's my last month, and it was reconciled. There was a slight difference coming because of X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to get into that, but at least if I take a look at the transactions for last month, it says all of these transactions were actually reconciled. So I'm going to assume this is true, and the last month was reconciled. Let's go back to the current month. And what I want to be able to do is just make sure every one of these transactions show up. So you can actually start with the big ones. Let's start with our insurance checks. And I'm going to go right here. I'm going to search for deposits. And I have my insurance checks right here. And I can say, fine, this is reconciled. So is this one. My other stuff, and I can just go down the list and I can mark like this $19,000 has been reconciled as well. And there are probably others which are, for example, checks right here. So there's a $967 worth of checks. So you get the idea that you take the money that's in the practice management and you reconcile it what's in the bank. And in most cases, as I was saying, this is a timing issue. So what I want to do is, let's just assume everything that I see here is reconciled. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open this thing up, and I'm going to mark every one of these are reconciled, and I still have about $22,000 missing because I know I reconciled last month. That means no transaction in this month in QuickBooks or in your bank is from last month. So I can assume everything that's in the bank is from this month. What I may be missing is a transaction that was for this month that's in the next month. For that, I will go ahead and open up my income transactions from the bank by about 4 or 5 days. You can open up further, and I'm going to hit update. And what this is going to do is it's going to bring me more transactions from April into this table so that I can perhaps change the reconciliation date. Now, here I have a couple of more transactions right here, and I found this $10,598 actually reached the bank on 4/1. So I'm going to go ahead and change the date of this reconciliation back to March 31st. I'm going to say this is good to go. Another one I'm going to change is this $12,000 because this is in March, but it didn't show up at the bank till April 1st. I'm going to change that as well, and I'm going to mark that. And while that was happening, everything else was updating up here, and there you have the top updated $120,000 in practice management, $120,000 in bank collection. I think this $41 difference is perhaps coming from a care credit difference. I'm pretty sure that's where it's coming from. And this way, now you are reconciled for this month. The 4/3 transaction 302 is most likely for that month, so I'm not going to touch that. Let's go to next month. And what do I want to do the next month? This is already pretty close. And if this is already close, and you can make sure that you understand where the difference is coming from, care credit or some sort of a refund that went out, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and just finish the reconciliation of this month. I'm going to record it that it's reconciled, and now let's go to the month after. Remember, this is a practice that's already been reconciled in the past, so that's why the numbers that you see over here are already pretty much in line. But as you start doing this and keeping a track of these transactions in practice by numbers, you will be able to just from the moment that you start, keep going forward from there and make sure every single transaction is actually showing up in the bank account. What will also happen is if sometimes a check will get taken to the bank before it was actually entered into the practice management system. And this is going to flag that as well, because you're going to suddenly see there's more money in the bank than there is in your practice management. So this is going to catch that. So if you don't do it, you gotta start doing it. You have to do it. Do it with whichever tool you can. If you do it already, if you want to save more time, make it a little bit more streamlined, and you have practice by numbers, if you have the bundle package, this will be part of that. So go ahead and start using it. Hopefully this is helpful, and I thank you for listening to me, being a practice by numbers users, and I appreciate every one of you. Thank you. Bye.